Hi again. I've used the term business intelligence on a couple of occasions so far, and I realized that maybe this is not a term which is soaked in or thought through properly enough. So I wanted to just talk about that a bit today. Business intelligence is a phrase that's being heard with increasing frequency, especially over the last few years. And I know that it seems like a radically new concept for many people who hear it today for the first time. But it really has been at the heart of the IT industry right from the beginning. In the early days, are we talking about the early 80s, early 90s, around that space, 40 years ago or so, when I started my career out, we wouldn't talk about an IT department. We'd often talk about DP, or the data processing department, and specifically those suit and tied DP professionals were the ones who were known for building, importantly, decision support systems. I know we've gone through a lot of acronyms in our industry over the years, and that every time around a new phase starts, we try and find a new buzzword. And today we seem to be coming back full circle to DSS, decision support systems. Decision support systems for strategic teams that helps them make better quality decisions. So the decision support system was the ultimate goal of all the work done by data analysts and report writers. Up until today, your current business intelligence professionals of today, the ultimate goal is to put systems in place that helps managers and operational staff even make better decisions. So it's a decision support system that we're really designing. And so we as data professionals, we as data scientists, we as the people who play in this particular space, we harness the power of all of that data that flows through the organization and through the marketplace, and provide some perspectives on this data at different levels of the organization, so that the different strategic role players can make better quality decisions based on those perspectives. And so the first primary assumption that BI professionals makes is that the data is reliable, it's accessible, and that the data sets are large enough to draw conclusions from. Now, the range of skills needed to guarantee these assumptions are wide, and they range from being extremely technical to exceptionally creative. A complete BI solution ensures that the skills needed to access, manage, maintain, enhance, develop the technical fabric of the solution are as available as are the business skills, the institution, the intuition, and the financial astuteness expected from experienced business leaders. And so while your modern BI tools mask some of the complexity from the user, it has obviously become increasingly clear that the modern manager or your team leader needs to have a sound understanding of the decisions that their groups are responsible for and the decisions that their stakeholders need to make based on the perspectives that they provide. There's a need to educate managers and team leaders on the fundamentals of BI platforms and to empower them to create their own reports based on their understanding of their departments. This applies to CEOs, directors, managers, as well as operational staff. So I guess the secret to success of BI implementation lies in the intimate knowledge of the strategic team of the metrics that they are needing, that are needed by the department, by the organization to guarantee success. This is as much as an art as it is a science. It requires that there is a common understanding amongst the strategic team members of how to present information consistently and knowing what the relevant information is that must be presented. So let's take a simple analogy. I've spoken about this previously, but it's the best analogy that we can work with. The fuel indicator in your car. Just imagine what it was like before they were installed in cars. Today, many of the cars have onboard computers that can predict how many kilometers can be traveled with the remaining fuel in the tank. A decision to take a trip to a mall that is about 20 kilometers away can be made easily if you know that the car itself alerts you to the fact that you can only travel 10 kilometers before you need to refuel. Combine that with a GPS system that's voice enabled, and you can simply ask the car for the distance to the nearest filling station en route to your destination, and then you can map a route to the mall via the nearest filling station. This is a business intelligence system at work. It proves itself so easily. You remove the GPS, you remove the fuel intelligence, and you're left driving around aimlessly in search for a filling station, which delays your journey. You run the risk of exposing yourself to danger in unfamiliar territory, and especially if you've run out of fuel without a clue of where you are, and it's late at night, it endangers yourself and the people you are with. That is a business intelligence system at work. In business, and it doesn't matter whether this is a for-profit business or a clinic or an orphanage, each department or every division within a business, as well as every area of management, have a few indicators that inform the team of their readiness to meet the challenges of operations today and for the planned period. For each metric, we call that an indicator, like a dashboard, an indicator, a fuel indicator. It measures your performance and is an indicator of where you are in your journey. It's called a key performance indicator. When you group on the dashboard, when you group these indicators together, it's referred to as a key result area, and they're often associated to a given area of business. Specific key indicators for materials management would include things like cost of storage, stock turnover ratio, safety stock levels, and there are other liquid asset, your typical asset test ratios for finance. There are different areas of indicators that we measure for different organizations, and some of them are specific to given industries as well. The organizations that thrive today in today's economy are those that manage to share performance against these targets across all of the indicators to all of their team members on a real-time basis, not on a monthly basis, retrospectively. So, the study of business intelligence is a wide-ranging study that expects its practitioners to be able to answer a couple of complex questions. For example, 4 questions that the BI Pro is required to answer. Somebody from advertising will come up to you and say, listen, I know that I've got about 100,000 Rand to spend on my marketing budget over the next quarter. Can you please help me make a decision? Which advertising media has consistently given us the best returns on advertising spend by province and by product category over the last 5 years? Now, that's actually not a question which the BI professional needs to answer in a BI department. That is something the marketing manager himself needs to be able to answer. He needs to be able to ask somebody so they can have access to the data models so that I can pull that information up, please. Similarly, the second kind of question the marketing guy wants to be able to answer for themselves, if they can pass it on to an intern if they needed to. I want to know which are the top 3 most profitable provinces over the last 5 years, and who are our top 5 clients per province by volume traded and by profit over the last 5 years. So given a marketing budget of 100,000 Rand or 20,000 Rand, whatever the value is, I want to know 3 things. What would be the best product to sell to which province to get the best returns? Based on seasonal responses to advertising spend, when would be the best time to start the marketing campaign over the next 6 weeks? And lastly, in which media should we spend the advertising budget? Now, that's a typical kind of application of a BI professional who has a specific skill set within the marketing space, because they understand the key result areas, they understand the key performance indicators, and they track the data. So you could rephrase those questions for any other area of the business or any other industry. But they're the kinds of questions that plagues all managers. They are at times phrased differently, they may come from a different perspective, and they may demand deeper insight into the technical aspects of running the business. But all of them at their root need to gain the insights from the trading data of the organization over a period of time. The skills and knowledge needed to answer these kinds of questions have traditionally been the domain of consultants or specialized roles within the organization, as much as replying to your emails and typing up documents were the domain of typists in the past. Today, everybody does their own typing. They respond to their own emails, and managers all know how to use Excel. It is time to accept that the next area of growth for managers is to develop a deeper understanding of the tools designed to make the decision-making process more reliable and more accessible. BI is not the domain of a consultant. It's not the domain of an external source from within your department. It is something which has to be imbued on the leadership and the team within your department. I hope I'm seeing you on the next one. I think one of the next things I want to talk about is the cost of BI deficiency. In other words, what is the cost of not having that skill set available to you?